Just a quick short update. I have done the edges on the trunk and the hood, filled in all those little bubbles where the original glue ate into the plastic from the original builder, gluing the hood and trunk in. And this is the second round of sprue goo on all of it. Just trying to fill in little spots. Get the thickness about the same, because it was definitely funky. So that's the hood and the trunk, and the same was on the body. There were pits in here. You can see the sprue goo on my finger. Just trying to fill it in and get all those little bubbles, pockets filled in, and get it smoothed back out once it dries. Takes 2 or 3 days to dry. A little bit more work around the headlight bezel areas, and if you look under the hood or fender area, I got that smoothed down. I filled some of that in because it was a little bit broke out from when I snapped the hood out. You can see there's more in here. The leading edge of the hood opening, if I can get this to focus, this was actually crooked. So I've filled it in. I don't think you can really see how much is in there, but there's quite a bit in there. I'll sand that out. There, you can kind of see it there, right here. So I'll add a little more to that corner because I'm going to have to fill that in and reshape it. What else? Found a little fan I can put in it. Racing headlight covers. I've got 2 of those. They fit perfectly in the original headlight buckets, which are not laying here. I don't remember where. I think I put them back in the dip. Trying to strip more of the chrome off. I've got this little fan too. It came with the old Boss 429. I don't know. I'll probably just use this little 4-blade. Wanted to show this also. I don't have one laying here, but that is the wood block that I carved the tractor seat into years ago. And this is the brush on latex. And I made little polyester resin molds of those seats, a whole bunch of them. And the wheel that I showed wheels that I had to make halves, there's one of those, latex. And here's these molds are really dirty. This is another wheel I made. I think this is one I used on one of my motorcycles. I don't even remember now. And my MSD mold, which, I mean, like I said, these molds are old and dirty, but they serve their purpose, and I could probably still use them if I wanted to. I did get the seats out of the Cobra also, so yeah, I've got them in the stripper. I'm trying to get the paint off of them. Yeah, got a lot of stuff in the stripper right now. Let me reach over here and pick this up. My old, now old and used thoroughly LA Awesome. Just been leaving this stuff alone for days. Otherwise it's, yeah, that bumper's not coming off, or that chrome's not coming off of that bumper. That's off of a die-cast motorcycle, and I'm gonna try and repurpose it. Small block Chevy belt assembly that someone painted orange. I got that in one of my parts boxes of stuff that I bought online, the junkyard lots. There's Cobra seats. Paint still not broke free. Another one. Little carburetors for the Cobra and some other stuff. There's a front cover for a camera. These are the knockoffs that I'm going to use on the Cobra. Just trying to get that clear off. There's the camera block. Got a lot of resin wheels that I made in here. There's one of the Cobra headlight buckets. The junkyard wheels. Resin wheels that I made. There are a lot of them, and I'm going to try and get them cleaned up just so I can use them for junkyard stuff, or maybe even sell them as junkyard stuff. I don't know yet. Don't even know what that looks like. A part of a sprue actually, but whatever. Carburetor, another wheel. I had a lot of molds made years ago and went through. There's like crap on there. That's how dirty they were. They were in a box that had no top on it, and cat hair and all kinds of crap got in it. And throughout moving a couple of different times, it was just tossed around, and I had to pick it all back up and put it back in the box, and they just got filthy. So I'll just keep soaking this stuff and then scrub it and soak it and scrub it until I'm satisfied. There's random bumpers and stuff in here, which I could go ahead and scrub them. The chrome's coming off. Just barely rubbing that with this. That grill right there, Model T grill, Model A, whatever. Chrome's finally coming off that. That was 2 days of soaking. Transmission that broke off that I'm going to try and put on this one. This transmission goes to, or bell housing, goes to Pontiac inline 6 camera engine, which is down in this bag somewhere. Not seeing it. There it is. That's the Pontiac inline 6 camera engine right here. It's a pretty cool engine. So probably going to use that in some kind of rat rod or something. More of that. Ugh, cat hair. But that'll just show you what I'm working with on how filthy this stuff was in storage. So I'm cleaning all this stuff up. Gonna try and make use of stuff one way or another. More of that. Just trying to drop this stuff down in the trash can. There's nothing really tiny in here. Smaller than the Cobra's carburetors. Those are carburetors off of Weber's off of a Corvette Stingray, which I do not have that car, but I might use them. I actually thought about using those on my Cobra, but I don't want those Webers on it. I'm just going to stick with the original right there. Those. Just trying to get that last little bit of chrome to break free on these, and that soften that glue up that's on them. And this right here, this is silicone on the side of this grill. I'll have to pick that off. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that's about it. I've got a lot of, I know you can't really tell, but there's a lot of other odd and end stuff laying up here that I've been picking through parts, trying to locate stuff. Yeah. Found the fender to my dirt bike. And my trailer that I built, which is sitting up here, it's right there, that right here, this trailer is actually built off of this. Move some stuff around here. Let me set my block up so I can set up the phone stand block. I'll start with the bottom. It's blacked out, but that says A&D Kits, Campbell Hall, New York. Whoever sent this to me back, oh, it's been more than 5 years ago probably. I bought this off of eBay anyway. This was a car trailer, and it was all styrene and I can't remember, Plastistruct, the gray. I still have the pieces over here. Hold on. Oh, they're not down in here. Where'd I put them? Well, it was the frame was gray, square Plastistruct rod or tube. It was tube. And I know I have some laying up here somewhere in my mess. I do not know where right now. But anyway, this was a old car trailer for a stock car, and you had to cut each piece. And some of the stuff was already cut, but a lot of it wasn't. And it wasn't the best car trailer. And it was folded up in my latex molds, and whatever caused it to do that and melt to the paper. You can kind of see pause it if you want to read it all, get the measurements and whatnot. There's a fold right here, and then it came with a second sheet explaining and showing the tire rack that went on the front of it. So I didn't want the tire rack, and I didn't want to use the let me fold this up and get this out of my way. I didn't want to use the Plastistruct rod. So what I did was, I'm going to dig this out of here. It's got an RC car on it right now. Project, and I'm dropping more stuff, as always. I think I dropped one of the ramps. Yep, sure did. I actually have two sets of ramps for it. A narrow set and a wide set. And I don't see the narrow ones. Actually, I don't have a clue where the narrow ones are. But anyway, had gray plastistruct angle. And the ramp would clip on like that. It's diamond plate, styrene. I'm pretty sure it's old evergreen. And the whole trailer top is evergreen. And then I decided, since I didn't want to use the plastistruct, oh, well, here you go. I used one piece right here. One piece right there for the neck. And I have Orlando Hunter, or no, that's a GK24 Gecko Auto RC ball joint for the hitch, and an Orlando Hunter ball stud for the hitch itself. So it's actually metal. Has an Allen head hole in it, if you don't know these little RCs that I build. And the wheel right there is off of a 132 scale die-cast Bronco. Let me go ahead and slide that off of there because it's not glued on or anything. The entire frame to this I made myself. Every little piece of it. It's not the best, but I was working on it. You see all the little pieces I was cutting to kind of make it work. But that's what the trailer came from. The diamond plate and plastistruct that's on here came from that. Little bar on the front is just styrene. Everything on the front's, well, the whole chassis is just, the whole frame to it's just styrene. It's all styrene. Anyway, and you can see it's scaled a little narrow for a car trailer. That's a Shelby Cobra on it. So I'd have to put little like side pieces of some sort on it. But it's just a work in progress that I was doing years ago and stopped working on it. Got frustrated. I couldn't find any suspension parts that I liked for it, and just kind of put it off to the side. And the way I made it, the ramps, actually, it's kind of cool. The ramps would lock in into the center. So, and also it came with these little chrome backed rhinestone looking beads. These were the taillights, gemstone looking things. They were taped to the paper instructions at the top. That's what the tape is on the instructions wherever. I just put that over here. That was taped on up here at the top. But anyway, yeah, just a little update on the Cobra. Throw in a little extra stuff, but still trying to fill in all these little pockets of missing styrene where the glue just ate into it. I can tell right here there's a little spot right here. I might need to put a little more sprue goo in, filler, this side it looks like I did pretty good on this one. Let me straighten this one up. Leading edge of the hood is pretty good right now. There's a tiny little bit in here. There's a tiny pocket right there. I'm off camera, sorry. There's a tiny little bubble right here. Primer will fill this corner, and right here is new sprue goo. This whole edge from here pretty much all the way back, there's a little right here that I'm okay with, but this whole corner and then starting right here there was a spot missing, and I'm just filling it in, and I'll sand it back and sand it back and fill it in and sand it back. This corner I added a little more right here. A little bit right here, it looks like. The front was just right here, from here to here, and the back has no more sanding to be done. And then underneath there's a gouge right here that I might fill. I might just leave all these scratches in it and trust in the primer. That edge right there, I got that, what do you call it, gasket or whatever, around the hood. I got that all shaped pretty much the way it's going to be. I could thin the sprue goo right here a little bit more. I might scrape on that with my X-Acto. There is a spot where it's catching on my little hook here. So I'll probably put a little spot there and fill that in again. This corner right here could use a little more scribing. Yeah, bottom of the hood and trunk aren't going to be beautiful by any means. There's a lot of strings hanging off of the trunk still from the wonderful sprue goo, but I'll get it. Not in a rush on it, trying to fix what's been messed up. So I'll work on the doors a little more later. I cut them out pretty good, but they need a little work. So my GT40 kit should be here in a couple of days with this wonderful winter weather. I hope everybody's staying warm. We had ice the other day down here on the Gulf Coast, and that was interesting. They shut everything down over just an hour and a half of sleet. So anyway, I don't know. I was going to build this a street version, but I think I'm going to go race version with this one. I mean, I kind of already started that with the single windshield and thicker roll bar than what would have came with it, and the headlight things that I'm putting on it. But the hood's not cut for hood scoop, and I don't know. Kind of want to leave the hood the way it is and not even have a scoop on it and still build it as a race version, but with street tires. So, well, the Firestones that I have on it. But I don't know. I still need to sand the glue and paint off of right here and fix that spot on the chassis where it's cracked, broke. And then I'm thinking about thickening up these rails and just making them round, just because I don't want it to be fragile. I want to make the kit a little better. I'd like to get a few more of them, built or unbuilt. I've seen a few on eBay for cheap. One of them's actually really nice, just needs put back together. But yeah, there's actually a lot more work going into repairing everything. I did get the whole cowl area right here smooth. That is a done deal. It doesn't look smooth, but that whole area is very smooth. Whatever little divots might be there will be filled with spot filler primer. It's actually, you can't feel any ridges, so I'm happy with that, even though I know all of this yellowish and gray stuff is old glue. This right here, only this little spot right here, come on, focus, this right here is sprue goo, and right here is sprue goo. This is where the old glue ate into the plastic. And I mean, it's a little rough with this, but it's not anything that primer is not going to cover. It's very smooth. So other than that, there's nothing else going on with this or anything else. I'm just stripping parts still, and the cheap route with what I already got, and cleaning up my old resin stuff that I'm not going to use for kits, but maybe like a junkyard. I was debating on the interior. I was debating on cutting out all the way down to the floor right here. Mark it out first and cut some, but I want to open this up all the way through the whole side piece on both sides because of how thick these are. I do not like that thickness of the styrene, the plastic kit chassis interior. The chassis itself is thin and fragile. A lot of the other parts on this kit are thin and fragile. They made the interior so thick. So I might actually cut those side panels out and make some styrene, thin styrene panels for it. Not sure yet. So, but the chassis itself, where I was talking about fixing this broken spot on the side, this is so thin. It's supposed to be a round tube, I do believe. So I might actually just replace all that with round tube, because I mean, I'm barely touching that and you can see it bends. So I love the little Shelby Cobras, the 289s especially. 427 ones are cool and all, but the 289 ones were awesome to me. They just look just different. It's just the difference between a small block street car versus the bigger 427. The appearance of it is just neat to me. I don't know, I like it. I can see what Carroll Shelby saw in that, and I think millions of other people do too. But there's some other kits, they're difficult to find, but there's some other kits that I want to get. Can't remember brands or anything, but there's a lot of 427 124 scale Cobras, but not 125 scale. And I'd like to, I think I've figured out what 427 engine would work best in a 125 scale Cobra. I've been looking at some resin parts also, and I'm just not finding anything I like for this particular model. Mostly because there's just not much space in here. There will definitely be some significant work to get a 427, especially the one I'm thinking. I'd have to modify the chassis, interior tub, the interior tub. The footwells would have to be narrowed a little bit, I think. Well, definitely. But I'm pretty sure I know which one to use, which would mean I'd have to buy another sacrificial kit or find a junkyard lot with that kit in it, which is doubtful in my opinion. But anyway, that's about all I got going on with this right now. Having fun sanding it, getting it all smoothed out, making it improved, repaired. That front spot on the hood here is going to be the most difficult spot. I've done the hood and got the hood smoothed out, but then when I put it in, I noticed evening up the back of the hood to the here, the front part up here was crooked, and I thought it was the hood, so I very carefully sanded the front of the hood and double checked it, make sure it's not crooked. And when I was messing with it, I flipped it over like this, and that's when I noticed where it was crooked. So it's that leading edge of the hood opening right here. So, and this sprue goo's been in here for 2 hours. It's dry enough I can touch it, but it'll be a couple of days for it to, I guess you could say, gas out to where I can sand it. Because I made this sprue goo, I mixed this up a little wetter than I normally would. It's really stringy and gooey, but it does the job. I could add a little more model cement in there and make it more runny, but I don't think it's necessary. It should do fine just like this. But anyway, this video was supposed to be short. As usual, I made it a long video. So I'm gonna shut up. Everybody stay warm, stay safe. Yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good day.